Hello, traders. This is Andy with Trade Ideas. Let me know here in the YouTube chat window if you can hear me and see my screen. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Make sure I'm on the right output device. Yeah. Let me know, guys, if you can hear me. Hello. Somebody in the YouTube chat, let me know if you can hear me. All right. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. All right. Crazy option expiration day. Hi, Edwin. How are you? I'm doing good, as good as can be. Hard to make money in this market, but at least I haven't been losing any. But last few days. All right. All right. So if you're in here for the first time, this is the support webinar. If you have a question, be sure to drop it in the YouTube chat there, and I will do my best to tackle it. And this could be questions about the software. This could be questions about stocks, markets. We always like talking markets and stocks here. Uh, haven't been very aggressive lately, even though we're sitting here near all-time highs. Has been a lot of funky price action. I've done my best with China stocks. Of course, they're always tough if because I'll be in them, and then they'll will be way up overnight, and then the market that opens up over here, and they try to whack them. All right, I'll start talking about some stocks. Actually, this farm has been one of my better trading stocks lately. I started buying it. You can see my average price. I just wish I'd had more, but I just kind of liked it after earnings and pulled back here and held this level. Where might it go? It's running into definitely running into some resistance right here. Hood, I bought yesterday, scalped some out, nibbled back in again on the pullback here, but man, it might be an option expiration thing. They just want to close this thing around the 55 level. So I'm not panicking. It's above the 20 period moving average. Intel I've been in for a while. JD been trading well. Looks JD's finally trying to he got above this level. So that was a key level there. Of course, it scared me out of some this morning. A stupid drop like that, but still got some. But yeah, this may want to go back up here to this 47, and I'm not giving up on TCOM. I keep trying this thing. They've been whacking it every time it opened, and I noticed today it opened up and it did not get whacked. So this one has definitely been out. It has earnings on Monday after the close, but this has definitely been a laggard and typically one of the better China stocks out there. So, but it's a mess. You got to know how to trade China if you're going to trade these things. That's for sure. Just going down the line here. Tesla, I tried it earlier this morning, lost a little bit, got out quick, and doing a little contrarian play on this break. Typically, breaking this low, picked up some at 342.70 with a tight stop. If it goes back to lows, I am getting out. So this is one of those ones where you're just doing a contrarian play because that so seems like works in the market. But TCOM is kind of on this 10 period moving average. We'll be watching it closely. May even add back in. I scalped some this morning, and but I do that sometimes. Get a little push and scalp some out, but then if it sets up again, I'll buy more. Let me just go ahead and put a stop in this like I did in my account. Oh, let me see where I got that thing at. 341.67. This Celsius I bought 331.25 on the jam down. And of course, I'd love to have bought this bar reversal right here, but I was in a meeting. It's what happens sometimes when you work. When you- But I think I am bidding it at, I think 30. Yeah, it's actually way down here. I'm bidding it at, gosh, I better go look. You know what? I wanted it before it went to highs, so I am just going to cancel that. Sit in the size I have, and it can always add on Monday or later today. All right. Yeah, it is. It is. There was a lot of option uh, settling today, so this is yeah. Typically, I don't go crazy on days like today, but it's weird. The last four trading days, it's like my blotter has kind of been like this, man. Just kind of hovering back and forth around the, which is fine. It's been a tough market, but and we got to keep an eye on this. When you start seeing, I mean, it's been this way for a while. It's been this way the last 3 weeks, and uh, it's crazy action. Sometimes you see just tons of hard selling, in the morning, and then you get this little bounce in the afternoon. Uh, yeah, I'm definitely, concerned about a potential top, at least for a while. Maybe we pull back, to a level where we can maybe to the 50 or something like that and see what happens. The 50 period moving average there, but yeah, I mean, basically, we haven't really done anything in 3 weeks. We just a lot of back and forth action since this high was put in over here. So tickled it, and then we're pulling right back again. And it looks like Tesla's about to get hit. Yeah, it looks like it did. Sometimes our thing's kind of slow, so let me just do it that way. Take a look at K-Web, still kind of holding up there. TCOM's going to pull back on me back to the 10, 50 period. Sorry, 20, 10 period on the 15-minute chart. And Hood is back down to the 20 period moving average. See if it can hold on. These nano nukes and quant computers, they're definitely, they could be on the other side of the mountain. I see no reason to be buying these things. Haven't tried those in a while. Oklo. I have some price alerts if they do come down to a level that I may be interested, but they've definitely lost their luster here over the last week. TCOM. Even JD is pulling back here, back below yesterday's high. I may have to take this. Some serious resistance there. Yep, I took it. All right. Once again, guys, got any questions? Be sure to hit me up in the YouTube channel, the chat. Okay, Edwin. Let's see. RPID. Very strong chart as of late. You got your 10 period moving average. You can see this thing every time it tries to break below the I'll save that in case I want to take a look at it. Every time it tries to break below the 10, it bounces right back up. So it's been closing above this 10, month now, above this 10 period moving average. That's a sign of huge momentum. You got these moving averages fanning out. Now, that being said, it has come a long ways from $1 all the way to $4. Okay. So you might see some profit taken. Uh, I don't know if you're in it or not, but yeah, I would definitely want it to continue to hold that 10 period moving average. Okay. Personally, after this kind of run, it's not my cup of tea. I would look for a deeper pullback, maybe to this, maybe if it breaks that 10 period moving average, you got your second backstop. Steve likes to refer to it as your 20 period moving average, which by the time it gets there could be around $3. I mean, stick alert here. just above 3. All the whole numbers are psychological levels anyway, but very strong. If you're in it and haven't taken any profits, I'd probably consider it. Definitely wouldn't sell it all just because it's, who knows where it's going to go. Yeah. Uh, you always be careful with. It looks like it's some sort of maybe biotech. I mean, you got to be careful when something like that news comes out, but definitely, definitely a strong chart for sure. Clients Globe Tech LTBR. And there goes the hood alert. Man, this is just okay. Now you're losing that. Just remember how we were just talking about that 10 clients, how it was holding this 10 period moving average. Yesterday, it tried to break it, bounced up and closed right at it. Okay, if it cannot bounce up, there's a good chance it might want to come down here to the 20. You know, uh, I'm always a little wary when you get in a market like this and everything's kind of taking a hit. But that's a nice level there if it can get down to this, 20 period moving average because you have kind of a pivot level there. You got the highs. This is support now. It used to be resistance. It broke through, came back down. It acted as support, bounced again. So that would be a level I'd be interested in if it came back. Okay, hood tickled yesterday's low. Gosh, I'm glad I don't have big size today. You're welcome. I had my Donkey Kong alert go off too. Yeah, look, see that Donkey Kong coming down to this 10 period moving average. But the way things are getting hit, I would almost wait for a gap fill. Market's rolling over, going to lows. And my TCOM is breaking its 10 period moving average. I don't like that. And it's also getting below its 10 period moving average on the daily intraday. Market is at lows. This is not healthy. I mean, luckily I got small size. TCOM though is not. Reddit. Oh, yeah. That's well, all I can say is you got, a level right here that is definitely a pivot level. I would definitely want it to hold that level. And I always like to look for trend lines. And you can see since the gap up, which was probably off of earnings going back over here, it broke that trend line. And you can see how accelerated it's been the last 2 days. Always watching trend lines. As a matter of fact, that will, get me in a trade or get me out of a trade. This is one that if you tried to buy it, off the trend line here, and once it broke, I'm quick to get out. So we could go back and really the other you can't draw. I mean, another trend line is way down here. So don't like anything about it in the short term. I mean, the only level right now I'd be watching is this 158.21. Sorry, somebody's hitting me up here. You're welcome, Pratik. Let's take a look at the averages right now because I want to check these guys out. Okay, you got your SPY at your 20 period moving average. It broke through. We'll see if this is an area where you can kind of maybe test the market for a bounce. Take a look at the Qs, and it's through its 10, and you do have kind of a pivot level right here. And below that is the 20 period moving average. So yeah, the SPYs could get a bounce here. We'll see. Where'd it- Gosh, I'd like to try some of these stocks. Here's a China play I kind of got my eye on for a bounce uh, that they announced. I mean, Google announced. Was it Google? Yeah, some sort of partnership with them. Uh, but there's your 10 period moving average. Now it might want to come down to this level right here. That was the previous high. So I like to put two alerts in here if I'm looking to play maybe a bounce off something. When you're at areas like this in the spies, maybe I look for some opportunity. That Donkey Kong doesn't look bad. Hood is back on its after strong earnings, back on its 20 period moving average. But good lord, I haven't seen anything but selling today. That's why I'm always guys putting alerts in near the 10 period moving average, or if on gap fills. I had one that already go off on Donkey Kong. I just moved it down to that gap fill. But typically in a bull market, this is if you weren't the guy that chased this candle and now it's pulled back to a level. Only thing that scares me is a lot of times they want to fulfill that destiny, go to that gap fill right there. Fox. Fox has been definitely holding up. As a matter of fact, this was on my Intel. Keeping my eye on this one because there anytime like you're going into a weekend, a lot of these deals are announced, over the weekend. Merger Monday, we used to call it. So I'm already in this and maybe look to add. Hi, NetTrade. I'm currently using a 15-inch laptop that's too small for your screenshots. My question is, what is the minimum screen size I need to accommodate your screenshots and your preferences? Uh, Honestly, I mean, for trade ideas, I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't go below 15-inch. I mean, I like, I don't. I would prefer like a 19-inch. If I'm going to trade ideas, uh, that would be. I think I have a. Trying to think what my laptop is. It's either a 19 or like a 21, but that's a good size. So I would 15 inches is getting well. Not only, I mean, there's so much you can do with trade ideas, so many windows you'd like to have up. So I would uh I'd probably stick with the I wouldn't go below 19-inch. Just yeah, yeah. You know what? Honestly, Pratik, are you a day trader or are you more of a swing skater, swing trader? You're learning, okay. So you're learning. I guess that means you're not sure what you're going to be. I did buy a little bit of that Donkey Kong. Uh, yeah, PC screen. I got two 28 inches that works for me. Uh, you can always go with one screen. They got make them now as big as 32-inch, 50, whatever you want. But I have two 28-inch monitors, and it works. It's just perfect for me. I got some scans on my other window. It's just they're the perfect size. If you're going with one, I'd probably want to get like a 27-inch. No, probably a 32-inch. If you just, I don't know how much how many windows you have up, and do you have your trading software on it? Uh, I don't need my trading software. I'm just a swing trader, so I just pull it up when I want to execute a trade. I don't need it on my uh, screens. You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, Pepe's right. At least a 32-inch for a single. That should be enough. Oh, you guys, you had to go tickle that low. Man, there is some selling going on. What is it? MLGO? Oh wow, crazy. Yeah, Pratik, when I'm looking to buy bounces, uh I don't play. Good lord, I have to sell that hood now. I go with small size, like this Donkey Kong that I just bought. Uh, so typically, you're looking for a bounce here, okay? But the bounce is not bouncing until it bounces. So there's two schools of thought here. First of all, you can kind of wait, maybe put you an alert above the 10 period moving average. That would be a safe way to play it. Uh, or you can do what I just did where you buy small size, maybe you buy, I bought a third of a size. So, uh, if it doesn't hold, I'll probably get out if it breaks 47 because there's probably a good chance it's going to come down to this 46, 42. Uh, Or you can, like I said, the safe way to play it is to wait for it to bounce and maybe use your 10 period moving average. Find a level on the chart where you feel like it's possibly changing its trend. But this market is coming down hard. Let's take a look. Trying to break our 20. Click on it to see exactly where we are on the 20 period moving average. It looks like 605.20. So we're just kind of breaking through. That's what's kind of keeping me in some of these trades and not bailing. Because we've all been seeing it now for years. The market sells off to a certain level, and then all of a sudden the buyers will come in. But good lord, I don't see no buyers today so far. UNG's up, K Web still kind of hanging around. Uh, China's definitely been outperforming the U.S. markets for a while. Maybe I ought to stay away from these things till they IWM has just, look at that. That's just awful. And when you get to all-time highs and you see the in the spies and Qs and you see the IWM looking like this, you expect it to maybe bounce. As a matter of fact, I tried it, got stopped out yesterday, but yeah, small caps have not been playing at all, and probably making some people a little bit nervous. Arc, that's ugly. That's why my hood's getting hit. It's funny, these things don't even trade off of their own earnings anymore. They just float around with the whatever sector they're in. But you know as well as I do, this crazy market can sucker the shorts in and just have a head snapping rally. Head fake there in Intel. Glad I didn't add BTBT. I'm not sure why I have that in there. Probably said it a long time ago. That's ugly. Bitcoin starting to roll over. SINT. Yeah, that looks like a tough one to trade. See if my farm kept going. Well, it's hanging in there still. Like to catch a pullback in this thing. I'm gonna set one right there. That's what happens a lot of time after these big moves. I take my profits and then they just keep going. Apple's holding up the world again. Jeez. Every time the market, when the market starts getting hit, just go out and just sell everything and buy Apple because this is what happens. It's like it's a flight to safety. Take a look at some of the big boys here. Amazon coming down. I got a price alert set there. That is a pivot level, but Yeah, and it's China, so oh gosh, 3,000. Obviously some splits along the ways, reverse splits. All right, spy. Let's see what you can do here. Put in your little bottoming tail, see what happens. See, Teledoc went off earlier, but he keeps selling off. But I think I read yesterday where like Medicare is going to quit paying for the online visits to doctors. They're going to quit reimbursing on those, or no more insurance on those things. So that's probably, I'm afraid to. All right, Hood, I got to sell you at some point here. Yeah, it wants that gap fill. You know what Q's doing. Q's looks like they want their 20 as well. They're already getting, well, they're getting close to this level. Apple's holding up the Q's. Probably that's the biggest component. I tried using Trade Ideas on my phone, but it does not work. Are you now? We don't have a mobile version. We're working on our dashboard, which is you can that works well on the phone, but we're still kind of a long ways away from developing it to where it has all the bells and whistles that our app does. So it's a work in process. We got lots. We're always developing, and right now we're kind of focusing on the money machine. But yeah, you're not gonna if you're an active trader, you're probably not gonna get. You probably don't want to be on your phone. Yeah. The problem with it, it's not like, Yahoo Finance or something like that where you can just kind of put in some stocks and look at it. I mean, there's so many features to, our desktop version that, man, trying to get it on a small little phone screen, it's almost pointless. I guess you could put one scan on there. All right, we got about 10 minutes left. And let's see. This thing too. Yeah, spies at lows. We're not getting a bounce at all. And my T-com's even. TECX. Oh boy, this is a tough one. It's a when you see stuff like this, obviously it's news driven. Uh, yeah, I don't know what to make of that. It may want. I mean, it could be looking at this gap fill down here at 26, 23 uh, level, 26 level. I mean, it's under pressure. You can see now you got your fanning out of your 10, 20, and 50, and uh, yeah, there's just nothing encouraging I can say as far as the long side goes, and being bullish about it because you're under the moving averages. You're uh, sorry, I was just looking at something. Yeah, I mean, this is starting to look like it could potentially be a gap fill down to 26 level. That's about the only thing I can see. But man, yeah, obviously some news driven stuff. I don't know if you're in it. If you're not in it, what I would probably do if you're looking to potentially buy it at things, I would wait for the gap fill, or I would put your price alert. Maybe if it bounces, above this 33 level, that would put it back above the 10 period moving average. It hasn't been above that in a while, but right now it's definitely in no man's land and it's trending toward that gap fill. You're welcome. There goes Amazon trying to break through its alert that I set a while back, trying to break through it. Let's see. Okay, you got a pivot level right here. You got a hold or I got a bell. Even my Celsius is coming back. There goes Donkey Kong to the gap fill. You're welcome, Net Trade. You do the same. Have a great weekend, Edwin. You do the same. You may have been talking to Net Trade though, but all right. Spies are pretty much through that. That stinks. Okay, I've seen enough. Got to get out of this stuff. Donkey Kong has still got small size. Not going to sell hood yet, just because it's at that pivot level. Intel small size. So dump that one. See, took out that low. I'm gonna put it at 64. Let's see. Only one that's causing really issues right now is this hood. It's got to bounce here at this level. All right, going into the weekend. We've seen this before. You can see lots of red bars, and who knows what happens, buys it back, whatever. But ugly so far today. Could bounce, put in a tail, and bounce back up, or we could be looking. I don't know. Gosh, if we go there today, that would be a pretty big drop all the way to the 50. That would be a candle almost like this one over here. So we'll have to see. Okay. Hearing something about a coronavirus with pandemic potential discovered in China. All right, guys, that's it for today. Ugly market. If you're bullish, ugly day anyway. See if we can get a bounce, but keep it tight because nothing but selling so far. That's for sure. All right, guys, I'm shutting it down. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week. Bye bye.